Hey, good evening, everybody. It's about 8:28 on this Wednesday evening, November 20th, 2013. And usually I would be out right now with my brother-in-law, and either I guess you could say step-cousin-in-law, and possibly future nephew-in-law, something like that. Basically two family members, if you will. One of those two, and a guy that basically I talked about before. So, anyway, thought I'd talk about, I guess in a way, thought I'd give you a bit of a brief, well, probably not so brief, but just a bit of an update on Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. Bit of an update review for my previous two-parter. Now, I played the battle stage, the battle mode, and the battle mode gives you a variety of stuff. It gives you classic battle, it gives you the option to go against the heroes, the villains. It allows you to have like an endurance run, and basically after every fight, the health that you have left remains. In other words, if your health is, like, let's say your health is this full, like right to here, your health is this full, and all of a sudden it's to here at the end of the fight, that's the health that you have left. That's the health you carry into the next fight, and that's called endurance. And of course you have other modes, like you can have a super move mode where you don't use the super move, but yet everything is charged. Now I guess you can use your other moves, other power moves, but you can't use your super move, and things like that. So I think there's a Blackest Night one, I'm not sure. But anyway, I played it last night and tonight. I played it last night and just now tonight. And I played last night as Superman, and I played as Wonder Woman tonight in both classic mode. And apparently, I was thinking when I played classic mode the first time, I'm thinking, oh, you're going to be able to fight your doppelgangers at the end. You're going to be able to fight your evil twins, if you will. But that wasn't the case. Instead, it's always going to be the evil Superman, the corrupted Superman, if you will. Yeah, you basically get a corrupted Superman at the end of the fight, basically. I mean, at the very end. It doesn't matter who you play as. It doesn't matter if you play as Superman himself. It doesn't matter if you play as Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, Doomsday, Lex Luthor, Joker, Harley Quinn. It doesn't matter. You're always going to end up getting Superman, evil Superman, regime Superman, let's put it that way, regime Superman, at the end of the battle. And I will say this: when you get to certain parts when you get to certain opponents, it's going to take you, depending on who your character is, it's going to take you maybe 2 to 3, at most, 2 to 3 fights, if you will. It's going to take you 2 to 3 times, basically, to defeat that opponent. I know this because when I used Wonder Woman tonight, I lost to Solomon Grundy, so I had to redo him. So it takes a while. It does. It depends on the opponent, and it depends on who you're playing as, who you're fighting as. That determines on how long you're fighting, how many times you got to fight your opponent. Whether it's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. It doesn't matter. And as far as Superman goes, depending on who you use against him, it takes about 2 to 4 times sometimes to beat him. 2 to 4 times. Well, as far as it was for me, it took me about 4 times with Wonder Woman and about 4 times with Superman. So it's all going to depend on who you use. So it's going to be like 2 to 4 times just to beat Superman regime Superman, the Elseworld Superman. But yeah, they basically with Classic Battle, they took a page out of Mortal Kombat. And to me, this was an opportunity for them to really capitalize and say, hey, look, we got all these different doppelgangers out there, you know, from this Elseworld, these regime versions of Wonder Woman and Batman and Green Lantern and Flash and, you know, and Cyborg and Catwoman and Joker and all that. It's like we have all these different characters from the regime/insurgents. Oh, I think the insurgents. That's what it's called. Or the insurgency, or insurgents, whatever. We've got all these different counterparts to the Prime, which are counterparts to the Prime characters, if you will. So, to me, NetherRealms, who did a great job on this, kind of missed the bus on allowing the player to play against the doppelganger, the counterpart, the anti-version, if you will, of the character they were fighting as at the end of battle mode. Instead, we just keep getting Superman of the regime, of the Elseworld, the evil Superman, if you will, the corrupted Superman. You know, that's what we end up getting. So, again, to me, they really missed the boat on that. I mean, just imagine, I could have ended tonight's battle playing as Wonder Woman. I could have ended it against the regime Wonder Woman. Or if I play it later, let's say I want to play as Harley Quinn or the Joker or Doomsday, I would have loved to end it with the Insurgents version of Harley Quinn, or the Insurgents regime version of Joker, or the regime version of Doomsday. That is something to me that, again, NetherRealms, who did a great job on this, missed the boat on. And I think that's why they get always a half a rating of either an 8.5 or a 9.5, because that's something they missed the boat on. They missed the boat on that. And to me, hopefully, if they do a sequel to this down the line and do another Injustice, that's something they correct, and that when you do Classic Battle in a sequel, you'll be able to finish or conclude the battle mode by facing your doppelganger. And I hope and pray that they do that, because to me, that will really up the scoring. That would have made it a perfect 10 out of 10, as Angry Joe would put it, badass seal of approval kind of deal. To me, it would have done that. But still, they basically took a page out of their Mortal Kombat playbook and just went with the Prime villain at the end. Which, it's alright. I mean, the ending you get actually is very similar to how you beat Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat. Except, we all know that Shao Kahn, he just blows up at the end of Mortal Kombat after you do battle mode against him. Here, Superman is sucked into the evil Superman, the regime Superman, he's sucked into the Phantom Zone. Yeah, basically what happens is he's trying to fight his way, he's trying to fight, make sure he doesn't go into the Phantom Zone, and all these images of all these memories and moments and all that come flooding back into him, and then like part of him, like his spirit or his ghost or something like that, I don't know what it is, gets pulled in first, and then he gets pulled in physically second. His physical body gets pulled in second. So it's really interesting. You should really play the mode, even if it's just Superman constantly over and over, depending on, you know, who you play as in battle mode. But again, you do get a vast variety, and that's pretty cool. You know, I will say this: the special moves, I'll give them credit. Like I said before, in my 2-part review, I'll give them credit. The special moves, the way you're operating them, is easier than I've ever played. I mean, every time I've tried to perform a special move in Mortal Kombat, or a special move in Street Fighter, or even in Soul Calibur, sometimes, well, not exactly Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur is a little bit more easier at times, but, you know, not as easy as this. But in the other games, like I said, like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and I think even Tekken or something like that, it would always take a mashing of multiple buttons. It's like you got to do all these different button combos and then press one button at the end just to get the special move off. Here, all you do is press the RT and the LT, depending on if you have an Xbox 360, like I do, press the RT and LT at the same time, and that's how you perform your special move. However, there is one exception, and that is Batgirl. For those who, for those of you that bought the original release and then later on bought the DLC release of Batgirl, again, those of you that bought the original release and then later on purchased the DLC version of the DLC Batgirl, you may already know this, and for those that, like me, have waited until this came out, or at least waited till this came out, or at least got news that this was coming out. For those of us that waited for that, and for those of you that already know, Batgirl is probably the only exception. Because what you got to do is you got to push up on the left joystick, and press. And I think that's what you do. You press up on the left joystick, and then you press LT and the LT and RT buttons, and that's how you perform her special move. Because it takes, basically what it is her special move. Her special move is performed when she jumps in midair, because basically she's going to fire her grappling hook, grab you with her knees, with her legs, if you will, in a leg lock, drag you up almost as high up to right to where the moon is, right in front of the moon, and then drop you and then land on you, feet first. She drops you. Basically, she'll grapple you she'll get her legs around you, if you will, around your neck, drag you up right in front of the moon, then drop you, and as you hit the ground, she's going to come she'll be following you, and as soon as you hit the ground, she hits you, she stomps right on top of you. She lands, boom, right on top of you. So again, that's probably the only exception, is the fact that she's the only one so far that you have to use a joystick part to enable you to use the RT and LT buttons to do the special move. Elsewise, it's not bad at all. Elsewise, all the other special moves are easy and are impressive. Batgirl's is impressive. Zatanna's, that's impressive. That surprised me when I played as her. Superman's, what else can you say? The guy just grabs you, boom, and sends you right into orbit, and then knocks you back down. So what more can you say about that? Raven's, that's impressive. I will give him that. Nightwing's is good. Doomsday and Zod, they're just like Superman's. They basically will, Doomsday, he'll smash you right through he'll drive you right into the ground and start smashing you from all the way to one end of the earth to the next. Very good. And Zod is basically, he's going to fly you straight up to the moon and right through the moon, and then throw you back down, or something like that, or blast you back down. That's impressive. Again, very impressive special moves. They did a great job with some of these, and I hope to see more of them. Hawkgirl's is good. If you have not done Hawkgirl's special move, that's good. But again, a lot of them are really, really good and really, really fun to play. So, if you haven't played Injustice yet, especially Ultimate Edition, I suggest getting Ultimate Edition and playing it. You will have a lot of fun with this game. Overall, just a fantastic game. It definitely lives up to its 9.5 or 8.5 rating that it gets from a lot of people. I think, again, like I said, the one thing that prevented it from having a perfect 10 out of 10 score, and as Angry Joe would say, badass seal of approval, I think the one thing that prevented it was NetherRealms didn't capitalize on allowing you to end the battle modes or conclude the battle modes against your doppelgangers. Instead, it's always constantly Superman instead of your doppelganger, which to me would have not only gave us more interesting cutscenes of what happens to the doppelganger at the end, but would have been more fun to do, because you could see the interaction either between you and your doppelganger, or someone, basically to me it would have made more fun. It would have made things more interesting. So I think that's one of the things that prevents it from being a perfect 10 out of 10 is the fact that they didn't capitalize on that. They missed the boat on that one. Overall, it's definitely a great game, and I thought I'd just let you know what battle mode is like, and really that's about it. So comment below, let me know what you guys think. Video responses are greatly appreciated, and I'm out.